Hi, I'm Bob Hughes, 78 years old. I'm doing this for Shelley Malcolm. She asked me because I was just diagnosed about 4 months ago uh, with myasthenia gravis, and so a lot of what happened very quickly is still fresh in my mind, and I thought I could summarize some of the characteristics. She sent me some questions like, what are the symptoms? When did I notice them? It could go back a couple of years, but I'm not sure. I had a coughing habit for quite some time. I thought was related to too much soda. Who knows? Could have been acid reflux. The doctor recommended I get a endoscope, and I put that off. So it's been going on for a while. But in about May, and the cough got worse, and all of a sudden my voice started to be affected, as it is now. I have trouble talking, um, and then I noticed, double vision began to occur, plus choking. I was regularly, from going back 4 months or so, having trouble swallowing. I just thought my throat was getting narrower. The doctor still related it to acid reflux. In either event, the double vision scared me, and end of May, I went into the emergency room. They ran a number of tests, CAT scans, MRI, blood tests, and they had about 5 or 6 different doctors that I needed to go specialists. I need to go talk to. The emergency room doctor did mention myasthenia gravis, but he said it would be a neurologist that would have to diagnose that. Uh, well, I couldn't get in to see a neurologist. I could see just about everybody else, uh, and found out, it wasn't this, it wasn't that, and had an endoscope, had 2 different MRIs. But finally, I did get to see a neurologist, and he gave me a pill, a pyrostigmine. I can't even pronounce it. He called it a Band Aid. He said it doesn't really fix it. It just will temporarily cure it if that's what you have. Uh, Within 30 minutes, I was able to talk. I could swallow a bit better. So things started to get better just taking this pill, but it only lasts like 3 or 4 hours. So he started me also on prednisone and a steroid, and that began to affect me. But it's a long term. It takes 6-7 weeks to kick in, and but I immediately got a side effect of not being able to breathe. It's like it took out voluntary muscles of the lungs, and that ended up sending me back in the hospital again. I went to the ER, and they considered it then a critical phase of myasthenia gravis, and they start this IG, or IVIG, which was an IV with antibodies in it from other people, and it's supposedly kind of like an oil change. It pulls out mine and replaces it with others, and it worked right. Within 4 days, I was back to breathing properly. But I still had double vision. I still had speaking problems, and they just didn't seem to want to go away. Uh, as I take more and more prednisone, raising the dosage, the symptoms get less and less. Now I'm beginning to walk a little bit more. I hadn't been walking because of double vision. I kept tripping. I couldn't see the ground real well. Both eyes are fine, but they just aren't in alignment. So you see double everything. I stopped driving for about 2 months because of the choking. I stopped eating and a lot. I think I lost 40 pounds in 3 months, just because I needed soft foods only, things that were a little wet, peaches, pears, mashed potatoes, that kind of thing. But as I took more of prednisone, I was gradually coming back, excuse me, able to, uh, more function more normally. I am gaining. I gained back like 10 pounds, and I'm starting to feel quite a bit better. But my legs are definitely weaker. I have trouble standing from a sitting position. Once I'm up, I can walk for maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then I have to almost go take a nap. Very, very tiring. So here's a brief list of, droopy eye is what was common. I had trouble even spitting, brushing your teeth and then spitting up the toothpaste. I could, I couldn't get my throat to work properly to do that. But that's beginning to go away. Shelley asked me about effects on daily life. Good question. It really it impacts you. Driving was the first thing. I got nervous driving because I have this double vision, but also just reading a book. You got to put a patch over one eye, even to watch TV, so you don't see two TVs all the time. As it gets better, I'm noticing that the real concern I have now is fatigue, energy management. I think partly because of the prednisone steroid, I'm not sleeping as well. I have some insomnia. There's a lot of side effects. So I sleep like 4 hours and then get up. Then I take a couple naps during the day. So I have to manage my energy level and sleep much more carefully. So I kind of plan the day a little different than I used to. I can't nearly do as many things without interrupting it with a nap. So the side effects from the treatment become serious as well. The treatments themselves, as I said, they started me on this predostigmine, which is great. I continue on that about every 3 to 4 hours. I take one of these pills, and they kind of clean out the system for a short time. Prednisone is gradually overcoming the various characteristics. The IV, IG they did in the hospital, that was 4 days of an IV intravenous transfusion. And I hope I don't have to do one of those again, but if my breathing suddenly collapses, I go into a crisis mode, I would end up doing that again in the hospital. They are going to gradually shift me to something called azathioprine, which is apparently an immune suppressant, which was primarily used for like kidney transplant to reduce the body's resistance, reduce its fighting capability, whatever. So as they increase that, they would decrease the prednisone. I don't think, at least I was told, I would never get totally off of prednisone, but I would like to get rid of a number of the side effects. Prognosis, the good thing is that I know what it is. I know friends that have something, neurologic disease that the doctors are baffled, and at least I know what it is, and I know it's treatable. So I'm very pleased with that. And the drugs that I have are slowly controlling it. They seem to be gradually getting better compared to 4 months ago, where I was just starting this thing. The fatigue and double vision are still a major concern. The side effects, I just list some of them: insomnia, high blood pressure, diarrhea, weight gain. They talk about cataracts. They talk about diabetes. I hear all kinds of things, the glucose level I have to watch, and much of which is related to prednisone. Long term, there's MG support groups I run into that are around here. They meet every 3 months or so. Gives me a lot of hope, and I see seminars on the web. I went to one local conference here on it, and in the last month, and matter of fact, Shelley went too. Really helps to have other people looking at this with you. And like Shelley said, she noticed that in the literature there's even a possibility of remission over a couple of years. So all is good. I'm happy to be here. Hope that has helped what you want.